Righto, here we go. Something a little bit different. This is some post-recorded not live commentary. This is me stalling the car. Let's just ignore that and move on. This is Project Cars. This is my first experience playing it. That was probably recorded about a week and a half. And I messed that up big time. Recorded about a week and a half ago, and it's the first real time that I've gotten into it. I've dabbled with it a couple of times before, but never really turned more than maybe a lap and a half before sort of giving up. And okay, that's cool, I guess. So yeah, I thought I'd give it a bit more of a go and see how I went. I think I went through here and just had a look at all the different telemetry stuff you can bring up, sort of looking at how it compares to Forza, because I am obviously a bit of a Forza player, so comparison with that might help someone else who's a bit of a Forza player. A lot of it's very similar. You see the green bar indicates the throttle, the red bar indicates brakes, which, so there you go. There's a yellow bar just under gear and speed indicator that indicates the clutch, which I think I do use a little bit later, but because it's a Formula 1 car you don't really have to. Yeah, so the one on the top left is an interesting one. I hadn't seen it before. It indicates the amount of vibration and stuff. So, and that's me spinning out under brakes, which I do quite a lot in this video, and you'll get used to it. So I think on this one I actually managed to do this lap somewhat clean. So like I say, I recorded it a week and a half ago, so okay, maybe it wasn't so clean. Yeah, let's ignore that. I really like the sun. It looks so. I don't even know what word I'd use for it. It's imposing. You play a game like Forza. I mean, Forza 4. The only track I can really think of in Forza 4 was Hockenheim, when you set it to be sunset. And when you did that, yeah, there was the sun, but it wasn't really overly impeding in your view. Whereas in Project Cars, it's there, and it really does blind you. It's really good. I haven't played Forza 5 yet to experience what the sun is like in Forza 5, but from what I've heard, it is not the same as you see in Project Cars here, but it is very, very imposing when you're at certain points in the track and you turn like that, where you get the sun and the lens flare and just all of it. And I think I've broken a bit late there as well. Yep, there I go. Okay. Yeah, so it'd be interesting when I get around to playing Forza to see how it compares with Project Cars. I'm pretty sure I'm not quite playing this on maximum graphics because my system is a little bit older, but it's pretty close to the higher end of I've broken late there again. It's pretty high, close to the highest graphics settings that are currently available. I should point out this is a pre-alpha build. So I should have checked this before I started recording this audio. I think it's build 615, but I can't be certain on that. I will check and put it in the description of the video, just to clarify which build it is. So here I'm just going through all the different view styles. This is the helmet viewpoint. There's two different types like this, and there you see me shaking my head because I spun it again. This is the helmet viewpoint. There's also just a standard cockpit viewpoint. The difference is the helmet obviously gives you a bit of the helmet there, but it also has a look to apex function. You can see there the driver slightly turns his head as you approach a corner, sort of looking towards the apex, which at first it takes a bit of getting used to, but once you sort of I guess adjust to that sort of looking into the apex thing, it does work quite well. I mean, I usually use chase camera when I'm racing. I mean, when I do Formula 1, I play Formula 1 2011, and when I do that, I use there I go again. When I play that, I use the TV pod camera, which you'll see a little bit later in this video, and there I've stalled it, so resetting and off we go again. I use the TV pod camera when I'm playing F1 2011, and there is a TV pod camera here, and I'll just keep braking too late there. That's cool. Yeah, so I usually use chase camera, or in F1 2011 I use TV pod. I need to adjust the field of view on the TV pod in Project Cars because the TV pod, is the field of view is a little iffy for my liking. So yeah, once I adjust that, it'll probably be the camera I will use, and I will get that corner right eventually. I am sure at some point in this video. I think I finally managed to get that corner right. Yeah, so there's different settings for the sun and the time duration. You can set it to be real time, 2 times speed, 10 times speed, 60 times speed, or 240 times speed. So obviously based it on a 60-minute hour, you can work out pretty easily how much that affects things when you are driving around at 60 times speed, and try not to hit that wall. Overall, I find it to be a pretty good. It's pretty solid, the build so far. There's a few hiccups you encounter every now and again, but obviously being a pre-alpha build, there's expected to be some bugs here and there. So it's a lot of the stuff I'm sure that the team are working on, and they're doing a fantastic job so far. So it's really coming along well, and I'm excited to get more in depth with it as it gets closer to launch, as things sort of start to finalise. Okay, I think I broke a little too early for that corner this time. Oh, this is where I stopped so that you could get a good look at the sun. Yeah, that's right. And then I kept going. I wonder if I brake too late again. Oh no, there we go. Yes, take it cautious. Oh, now I've gone wide. No, that's... I'll get it right eventually, I'm sure. Yeah, I suppose I should touch briefly on the physics side of things, because there's been a bit of... oh, there I go again. There's been a bit of... okay, so here I go with the TV pod mode, so you get a bit of an idea compared to the helmet camera, how different the field of view is, and I think that really sort of threw me off trying to go into that corner. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn the volume down a bit, because I have to admit, Sebastian Vettel makes doing donuts ridiculously easy, and then when you get in a car like this yourself, it's not at all easy. And I think I spent a couple of minutes trying to do a donut. I got close there, but still couldn't figure it out. So yeah, I don't know whether that'll be easier to do by the final release or not, but right now it's just me doing burnouts, not donuts, as I was trying to do. But yeah, going back to the physics side of things, yeah, it's still being worked on, but I can say it does feel a lot better than Forza 4 did. Now, like I said earlier, I haven't played Forza 5, so I don't know how the physics compare to Forza in Forza 4 in that regard. F1 2011, this does feel a lot better than F1 2011. It is. I find it's ridiculously easy to lose the rear end playing Project Cars, as you can see a lot in this video. But also so there you go again. In F1 2011, I actually find it hard to get off the line in F1 2011 playing with a controller with traction control turned off. Now, I've got all the assists turned off, including the braking line, which is very rare for me while I'm driving around here in Project Cars. I usually have at least the braking line turned on in every racing game I play. But in this regard, you only have the option of having full racing line or no racing line. And when I have full racing line, I get very distracted. And that's one of the glitches I was telling you about, which is a very common thing at the moment. You tend to get glitches like that where things just randomly physics breaks and all hell breaks loose. So I think that's a good point to probably end the video. But yeah, compared to, just quickly while I'm going through all these different camera angles, compared to F1 2011, the cars are a lot different to drive, and even compared to Forza, they're a lot different to drive. So it's going to be very interesting to see as development continues how that changes and how it advances as the development continues. I'm very excited to see how it happens, because so far I'm having a better experience with this than I was with Forza. So it'll be interesting to see, as I said, how it progresses. So if you want to know anything else, let me know, and I'll do my best to answer it within the terms of what I'm allowed to talk about, because there are a few things I'm not allowed to touch on. But yeah, let me know, and I'll see what I can do.